La clínica del Dr. David Cavazos, el quiropráctico oficial de Gali Lucha Libre, presenta. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Gali Lucha Libre Intermission. And we have Damarceo James. He's making a name for himself at Gali Lucha Libre, and we were impressed when we saw him the other day in the ring, rather. Damarceo, how you doing? Welcome. Good to see you, and thank you once again for taking and giving us the opportunity of this interview.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me on here.
So now let's talk what brought us here. What got you interested in this beautiful, gorgeous lucha libre or wrestling?
I grew up on wrestling. I've been watching wrestling since I was 3 years old. My great grandfather got me into wrestling, and one day I've been wrestling for about 2 years, and I like the style of the Lucha Libre. You know, I love the style. I love the art of wrestling. I love telling a story.
You know, that's one thing. That was one of my textbook questions. What would you consider the difference between regular wrestling, American wrestling, and lucha libre? And there it is. There's the question. What would you say, Damarceo, that the difference are or is?
I like the difference. Really, to me, is the high flying. The acrobatic athleticism. I started to see American wrestling starting to go that way too, of some sorts.
Okay.
But yeah, I like the high flying style. American wrestling is more so wrestle holds and locks, and sometimes submission holds, and a lot of the rules are different. With American and the lucha style.
You're a pretty big guy yourself. You're pretty agile. You can fly in the ring. I was a witness. I was calling your lucha, and in this case, you had in front of you a super heavyweight, as he calls himself, Jeremiah Bishop, which it was no cookie.
Yeah. Jeremiah's a big guy. That's really my first time ever mixing it up with a guy that big. So I had to, really be strategic on how I work with him, on how, to try to get a win, so to speak.
But I like, how you answered the question, going over the answer very technical about it, without overstepping the boundary or the line. You had to pick how to go at Jeremiah, because again, he is pretty big, pretty agile, and he knows the business, he knows the ring, and you gave a pretty good performance.
Yeah, thank you.
Now let me ask you this: when you go in the ring, this is a textbook question that I ask all your colleagues. Do you get butterflies?
Sometimes. It depends. I'm used to working in front of crowds. I came from a basketball background.
Okay.
And on that aspect, it's a different sport, and, but it's the same concept. You're out there to perform,
right,
in front of a crowd, big crowd. The butterflies, I'm pretty much gotten used to it. Every now and then I might get butterflies, but as soon as that song hit, it goes away.
So basketball and wrestling, obviously, everybody knows, and you said it, and again, sounding redundant, are different sports. But the pressure to perform in front of a crowd still there, the team, but in this case, you're by yourself.
Yeah.
By your lonesome self in the ring. And do you hear the crowd?
I do. I do hear the crowd. I hear the reactions. It's kind of weird to explain it because I can hear the crowd and also be engaged in the match at the same time.
Do you feed off of it?
Yes.
Whether it's negative or positive, or they're cheering for you, or they're booing you, or they're calling your names or whatever.
Yeah, I love the reactions. I love the chants, whether it's bad or positive or or good or bad. I love the reaction either way.
So that's kind of fuel for you, kind of an adrenaline for you.
Yeah, so that's my fuel.
So that drives you.
That drives me. That really drives me to hear the crowd.
Aside from basketball and wrestling, what other sport do you practice?
I did in my past. I also ran track and I played football as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I was pretty much almost in every sport growing up and also in school.
What about baseball? Did you give that a try?
I've never played baseball. I've played softball for fun and all things like that.
But I'm sure that if we haven't played all those other sports, if they tell you, here, let's go, you're a second baseman, I'm sure. I'm sure you will back down from the challenge. Just give me the glove. Just give me the glove and the uniform, and I'll go out there.
Yes.
Now, you mentioned earlier in this interview at Gali Intermission that you grew up watching wrestling. Any other wrestlers that you saw growing up that caught your eye and you would say, wow, that's I like that. I would like to copy that or do something similar to that wrestler?
I can go as far as back as watching The Rock.
The Rock.
Yeah, I like he's so charismatic and entertaining.
Yep.
I like how he used to entertain. He did great matches as well, but he had that entertainment aspect with it. He used to get you in it, and he was so entertaining. Another guy that I used to like coming up, who was more of the Lucha style, was Ultimo Dragon.
Okay.
Yeah, Ultimo Dragon was another guy that I liked as well when they were, when it was WCW.
Now, walking back to The Rock.
Yeah.
I watch every now and again. I catch myself watching some of his wrestling matches. He could talk some smack.
Yeah, he could
talk some smack and make you feel this
very
little.
Yes.
I mean, the guy. I mean, his father was a wrestler, and he had the background, and he had the know-how, and he had, or he has, the gift of gab. Or talking smack, as we call it. Now, with all those sports that we just mentioned, what would you tell the younger crowd coming up that want to follow your lead into this beautiful sport? What would you tell them to do or not to do?
I would tell them to, approach it the same way like you would any other sport. Put the time in, work hard, because let me tell you, when I first got into wrestling, into this beautiful business, when I broke in with the training, it's nothing like that kind of training.
How do you mean?
The drills that you do.
The aches and pains?
Yeah, the aches and pains. With the drills that you will do, this is a full body workout. You're taking bumps, you know, things of that nature. It's a tough sport to get into, but it's also fun. It's also fun. But
Yep.
yeah, I approached it the way I did it. I approached it the same way like I did any other sport, though. You know, put the work in.
What I noticed about you, Damarceo James, is that you bring it in. Yeah. What I mean by that is you know, once you step in that ring, and like you said, once you hear your music, your theme, and then you step in that ring and they sound the bell, it's all business.
It's all
I
business.
know that about you.
Yeah.
Or am I wrong? It takes you a little bit. It takes you a little bit to engage.
You're absolutely right. As soon as the song hit and that bell rings, it's on. It's on. Just like if I heard the whistle. If I hear that whistle blow,
right, and basketball.
Yeah, it's time to go.
What do you follow any kind of exercise routine throughout the weekday, or any type of food that you put in your body, obviously to help you along with the bumps and the bruises and the beautiful game?
Yeah, I work out 6 days a week.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I work every body part through it on 6 days. I do more of a body build type of routine. I do cardio when it comes to training with wrestling. I have to be careful because, you know, with the size, and for me to maintain my size, I was always small. I was always skinny. And yeah, I wasn't always this size. I had to really put time into the gym. And I really had to eat because my metabolism is so fast that if I don't eat enough, I will burn.
Quick.
Yeah. So I have to eat 7 times a day.
How many?
7 times a day.
7 times during the day, and you train six times a week.
Yeah.
That's discipline.
Yeah.
Is there days? Is that now? I catch myself asking this. It might sound stupid, but I gotta ask it. Are there days when you say 5 more minutes? I don't feel them. 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes.
Absolutely. Oh yeah.
And then what do you do? You kick yourself on your own behind, and then it's like let's go.
Yeah, I make myself get up. I make myself get up and go.
What's your motive? What drives you?
My family. I have 2 kids. They drive me. You know, I always had, and this is talking in basketball. I always had that drive, that Mamba mentality, like Kobe did, if you know, so to speak. I always had a mentality to go. So whatever it is I've done, I have my mind trained to where whatever it is that I do, I go 150% hard.
Let me tell you something. It shows. The discipline shows. And Damarceo James, it's been a pleasure to get to know you a little bit more, and we hope to see you more at Gali, so I can call the action. And with that said, would you mind sharing your social media with the younger crowd that would like to know how you done it, how you do it, what's your motivation, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera?
My Instagram, I'm mainly active on Instagram and Facebook as well. My Facebook page is I'm pretty much the only Damarceo that I know. So yeah, it's Damarceo. Paschol would be my Facebook, and also for Instagram, it would be Destroyer Pro Wrestling for my Instagram.
Sounds good, Damarceo. James, thank you very much again for joining us in this Gali Lucha Libre intermission. It's been a pleasure and hope to see you
Yes.
more often at Gali. Thanks again. You have a wonderful
Yes. You too. Thank you.